For me, cycling is a passion. It's something that I enjoy doing myself. I mean, outside of the competitive side of it, which I was very involved. I like to get out on the bike. It tends to give a sense of peace. For me, I'm very health conscious, so it helps in that area as well. And I'm just generally love the sport and love seeing, you know, riders excel. I mean, from the coaching side, excelling and doing their best and having fun while doing it. Because cycling, you know, is a fun sport. It's very colorful. It's one of those sports that I think that you can do if you live to 100 years of age. You can actually still ride a bike once you stay on it. It's one of those few sports, and that is why I kind of like draw to it. I mean, the wear and tear on your body is not so much hectic as other sports like the lawn tennis, the running, you name it. You know, and a lot of people use it to cross-train. It's one of those sports that has been used also in therapy. A lot of sports injury, doctors tend to revert people to riding a bike as a recovery process for a lot of injuries that they might have. So it's something that I like very much and like doing and like seeing. You know, the colorful side of it. When you see a cyclist on the road, you know, the gears, it's just lovely to see. For me, the philosophy of coaching that I've developed is outside of being certified is the ability to read and stay current with the sport and adapting from other top coaches, you know, through conversations and looking at their technique and formulate my own style of coaching and regiment that I impart to riders. And one of the things that I try to incorporate in all of this is understanding the athlete, how the athlete function, how they respond, and try to put together a program that will suit in whatever area it is that the athlete might be more suitable for. So it's more not dynamic way of how I look at it and try to impart it and make sure that the athlete understands what it is that I want to get across to them, and also understanding how they receive it, because if that area is not understood or put together in a particular fashion, you won't be able to get the best out of the athlete in whatever area of competitiveness that they might be aiming towards. The sport is in a spot where we have to now look at how we rebuild, and the rebuilding has to start now from the bottom up, because over time what we have been doing is pulling from what we have, but the bottom of the table is not being dealt with, meaning the junior program is not something that has been looked at in a very robust way. You know, so the sport in itself over time has been dwindling in terms of talent, but we now have to create a mix to keep it going and to get more youngsters involved. So it is going to be a process, it's going to take time, but it has to be structured in a way where the growth or the pathway is dealt with in a very structured and serious way. I mean, the process of development for any athlete who take up the sport of cycling is a structured pathway that has to be. I mean, the philosophy is where you have to start at a young age, because that's where the whole mannerism, the whole mindset, the attitude will start. You know, one has to develop the whole physical endurance side of the athlete. Then you move to the strength phase. Then you look at the speed endurance and then the speed. So it's a process that has to come through every stage, whether it be from the juvenile going into the juniors, and from the juniors to the under 23 over into the elite. So that is the same process that one has to function. Look at that function and how you apply that within the space and within each age group, you know, and not to leave out the fun side of it, because if the athlete is not enjoying what it is that they're doing, that will help also to kill the development part. So it's how you balance the training, the rest, the diet, you know, to enhance the athlete, has the athlete move from one tier to the next. I mean, if you look at the development pathway, I mean, the natural tendency for any athlete moving from one tier to the next is 4 years. So if you're talking an athlete moving from a juvenile stage to the junior stage, you're looking at 4 years. And from the junior stage to the under 23 stage is another 4 years. And from there to the elite level, to be performing at a world standard, is another 4 years. So you're talking about a span of 12 years that the athlete will have to commit to get to that world standard that you'll be looking for to attain world dominance and world greatness. So it's not an overnight process where you say, oh, 2 years or 3 years. It is a transition within the different age group and the different phases to get the athlete to where he or she will perform at its optimum. One has to be cognizant of the fact that you know, to get to any level at all within any sport, not just for cycling, it is going to require some level of commitment, hard work, dedication, the will to want to achieve, you know, and loving what you do and embracing the whole aura of the sport, you know. And it's not for the faint of heart, you know. You really have to dig deep. I mean, there's going to be times when you're going to feel like you don't want to do it, but that is not what is going to make you a champion. You'll have to understand how to suffer, you know, because it's a lonely space at times as an athlete, you know. So one will have to learn how to lean on their coach, lean on their family, lean on the support that is around he or she, and the rest can be very rewarding.